Welcome to the best Commander podcast in the world.
Today we got more.
Budget bombs.
And we're doing lands.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, BZ, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. And if you're checking us out on Google Play, Spotify, or iTunes, you can subscribe to the podcast. If you're checking us out on YouTube, you can subscribe to the podcast on YouTube.
Not the channel, the podcast on YouTube. Do whatever you want. We don't really.
Not your boss.
Yeah, that's true. He's not your boss.
Budget lands under $1 right now.
So budget bombs, as we call them. People like to give us crap because they're not. There's not really bombs in non-limited formats.
We could even do a Budget Bombs episode.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, so when I guess if the idea of like a budget bomb or like a bomb in a non-limited format is like Oko, is that like a bomb? But it's not even. I wouldn't call it a bomb.
No,
it's just like a format-defining card. So there's no such thing as a bomb that's not in a. So these are
because
budget
everybody
bombs.
has the same card pool.
Yeah,
you don't have the same card pool in limited.
Yeah, that's why there's bombs.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into the lands now. We'll start with
classics.
Budget Fetchlands.
All-Stars. Evolving Wilds. Terramorphic Expanse. They just tap, search for a basic, but it comes in play tapped.
Yeah, and these cards, they work in Lands Matters deck, Landfall decks.
Windgrace, your Mina and Den, your Azusa.
Yeah, the Mina and Den's like a really cheap commander. You could put this in there.
Mina and Den might be popping up on our Budget Bombs Commander episode next week.
Budget Bombs.
Okay. What is after that?
The tapped Tri-Lands. These are cards that we would never put in a deck where we weren't restricted by a budget.
Yeah, we don't have budget decks, so we've never played these.
Yep. And so, but tapped Tri-Lands, they're great when you're on a budget.
For example, I have a Bant deck. Seaside Citadel enters the battlefield tapped and will then tap for white, blue, or green.
Before my Bolas deck was fully done, I had in Crumbling Necropolis.
It's a perfect placeholder if you need one.
Yeah, it works.
4-color decks, 5-color decks even.
Yeah,
3-color decks, obviously.
These are great. If you're going into a 5-color deck and you're on a budget, these are going to be awesome for you.
Do you just jam all 10? I'd say find whatever your 3 most prominent colors are. I would play all of the ones that contain 2 of those, or 3. So if you're a Bant deck, I wouldn't play Crumbling Necropolis.
Yeah.
Or the other one. I don't know. Savage Lands.
Savage Lands.
Don't play the black-red ones, but play all the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly. And these are, again, adding 3 colors when you're stuck down on a small budget and you want to play 5 colors.
I love Niv Mizzet, but my budget is $50 or $20. I have an allowance.
The biggest holdback for 5-color decks is definitely the mana base.
For sure. You can't just put basics in, because if you ever play with a 5-color precon, it sucks.
Yeah.
It completely sucks.
You play...
Cultivate? What?
You play
5-color deck?
You play 3 mountains, and you go, can't cast my commander for 8 turns.
Right. It's like I drew 2 of my 3 mountains. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's...
No, completely horrible. You need as many... I would rather just play all tap lands than all basics. For sure. I'll just take a turn off. I'll say I'm going to be 1 turn behind, but my mana is going to be twice as good.
Yeah, that sounds way better.
Yeah.
And what's weird about and funny about talking about that, we hate tap lands when we're not on a budget. So
yeah, we just try to avoid them. So
that shows you that the colors and the fixing is more important.
We need to play Magic.
Yeah, you're not
especially if you're just trying to have fun.
Yeah, if you draw all your islands and then you go, whoops, I lose because my black is, I just didn't draw any black. It's great.
These cards I don't know about in any deck, but the bounce lands from original Ravnica, such as Simic Growth Chamber, which enters the battlefield taps for blue-green, but when it enters, you have to bounce another land, you just have to bounce a land you control.
I'm great with these. I have no problem with these in the budget.
No, I don't know if I would auto-include them. It's just super slow and punishable by Beast Withins that are just lying around. I always Beast Within these.
I'm not saying they're not punishable. I'm not saying they're great. The upside of this card is purely that they're like 10 cents.
Yeah, most of them are cheap. I just love that it's 2 land drops. So you can keep a 2-lander when it's really a 3-lander.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate on these too bad.
Yeah, it's also good for land drop decks because you got to let you hit an extra land drop from your hand without really having to play anything extra.
True. The Pain Lands.
The enemy ones.
The enemy Pain Lands that have been printed 100,000 times. Battlefield Forge, Yavimaya Coast, Llanowar Wastes, Caves of Koilos, and Shivan Reef.
You got
those are the 5. They're all just
I think,
absolute nothing.
If I remember, Sharon Reef might be slightly over $1.
Because it does see some play.
Yeah, that one might be slightly over $1, but the other ones are just, they're nothing. They're like
40 cents.
40, 50, 60 cents. They're great, they're cheap.
These are playable in competitive decks. They enter untapped, they tap for 2 colors, and who cares about taking damage?
Yeah, and in the right deck, in certain decks, you're playing something like Eldraz's Displacer, it tests for 3 colors, basically.
Yes, it taps for wastes.
Yeah, which is awesome
Super
in
huge.
some decks. It's just, again, all depends on what you're playing. If you're playing some Eldraz's in that deck that want that wingding, whatever.
No, if you're playing enemy colors in Commander on a budget, play these lands.
Yeah, I was also saying the wingding makes it like shove these in. These should be in your.
They're like one of some of the best lands you can play.
Yeah, when you have wingdings.
Exotic Orchard is an untapped land that taps for a color of mana that any land an opponent controls could produce.
I was surprised how cheap this one is.
It's so cheap because it's so good. Because if an opponent has a mana confluence, you're set. You don't have to worry about this
Did you
ever
say
again.
it's so cheap because it's so good?
No, I'm surprised because it's so good.
Oh, I thought you said it's
I'm
so
surprised it's so cheap because it's so good.
That makes more sense. What I heard was it's so cheap because it's so good. Obviously.
Duh. That's what happened to Siege Rhino. It's 50 cents.
Forever.
Okay. Felwar Stone is the artifact that compares to this. This land is better. It's so good. In 5-color decks, this is a shoo-in. This is one of the best lands you can play.
Yeah.
It'll always tap for 3 colors at least.
It always tap for 1 color, and in your in your worst case scenario, it tests for 1 color, and you're playing in a weird.
The worst case scenario is you're mono red and your opponents are all mono blue, and it only taps for blue, which is still just colorless, which is fine.
It's so
That's
weird.
the downside. I don't know why you're playing this in your mono red deck.
Yeah, don't put it. I would suggest not putting Exotic Orchard in your mono red deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe once you go into 2 and 3, 4 colors, you can start talking about it.
3 is where I start playing this. I don't like it as much in 2.
I don't know because it depends. If you're in the enemy colors and you get really shafted on lands when you're in enemy colors.
That is very true because they won't print cycling tap lands and they won't print battle lands.
There's other cycles too that just aren't complete for enemies.
Makes me sad.
Yeah.
Rocky Tar Pit cycle. I don't think there's there's enemies for that.
There's-
We can talk about that forever.
It's so annoying.
On the same vein, when the Scrylands rotate, the enemy Scrylands that are in standard, they'll be below $1.
Oh yes, Skylands.
So pick those up when you get a chance, because Scrylands are great.
So
They're just a little pricey right now.
Yeah, only because they're in standard.
Oh, I don't know if this is our favorite land on the list, but it is.
It is. There's not a doubt in my mind that this is the favorite land on the list.
Myriad Landscape, this is like the Nitpicking Nerds invitational card, because we play it in everything.
This card is awesome. We put it in so many of our tune-ups.
It is almost an auto-include
We
in
know-
our decks.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's
depends
as close as it can possibly be.
It really depends on what you're playing. Because if you're playing in a hyper competitive, obviously this is no good.
It's a tap land that makes more tap lands, so don't bother. But we don't play in hyper competitive, so shut up about it.
So ramp on your land feels great, feels awesome. It's such a good card.
It's ramp in your land slot. It's a spell.
Which
And it's 2 mana in this, so it's 3 mana to do it.
and sometimes it's just a land.
It fixes you if you're missing colors.
Yeah. But also sometimes it's a bad tap land, and also you don't need to ramp from that point.
Yeah, you
can
can
just
I
it
can't
just
do
has
it
for
for
waste.
can't do it for 3 turns. I'll just have this land in play.
there's nothing wrong with like it's a really bad land when it does that. But sometimes it just is that bad land. It doesn't need to be the ramp spell.
And then it is the ramp spell later.
So it's yeah, exactly. It does have something that's very good about a card like this. It is modal.
Yes, it's tap land on turn 1, and you need to cast your spells because you're under pressure.
Yep.
And it's ramp spell on turn whatever you want at instant speed.
Yeah. Also, I love things
If
like
you're not
that.
playing this card, you should just play this card. This card's amazing.
Yep.
Give it a chance.
Yeah. What's our next one? Rogue's Passage. So this card goes in decks that you really want to. Your commander is usually Voltron decks where your commander is big, fat, and you want it to just get through for.
Because it taps for colorless, or you can pay 4 and tap it to make a creature unblockable.
Yep. So unblockable. Unblockable is not a keyword.
Nope.
Can't be blocked.
It used to be, right?
I don't know. I think it might have been.
No, I think people wanted it to be. I don't think it used to be. Doesn't matter.
Unblockable.
Doesn't
So
matter.
it can't be blocked. Whatever. So the creature can't be blocked, and if your commander is a 2-shot, then this is awesome.
Game over. 3-shot, more realistically.
Yeah, most commanders are 3-4 shots.
I only
5
played
shots.
this in one deck with Skullbriar, and it's pretty sweet. Most of the time, it's just a land that's like whatever. But sometimes it just, you set up quite a defense there, kill you. Save it in your hand if you have multiple land
Be a
drops.
shame if I killed you.
Killed you anyway. It's also really good in Kozilek, the Great Distortion. That thing is a 12/12.
That thing is a 12. Although sometimes that thing's just unblockable because that's
Menace.
menace.
I wish they printed a less lame ability on Kozilek.
You know what J. Jonah Jameson would say to Kozilek?
There's a menace!
That's what you would say.
I was going to get a cigar, but we don't have any.
We don't have any cigars.
Yeah, we're fresh out.
Fresh out as in we've never smoked a cigar in our life.
All right, what's this one?
Temple of False God.
Fine. This is so fine.
This
in
is
budget.
In a budget. This card is great in a budget deck. This card is so fine. Otherwise, it's so like medium.
I will never play it anymore.
Only because you've been punished by it so many times.
Because it's garbage. But it's in a monocolor deck. I think in a budget, I would always play this.
Yeah, it taps for nothing normally.
Great.
But if you control 5 or more lands,
Yep.
5 or more lands, this can be the 5th. Then it taps for 2 mana.
2 colorless.
So it becomes an ancient tomb that doesn't hurt you.
It's definitely fine. It's going to feel great when you find it, or if you're a ramp deck that's just going to put a bunch of basics in play anyway, you don't really care. It's good. In a budget, I'll say it's good, but off the record, out of budget, I think it's terrible.
I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's terrible.
That's fair.
The one-color cycle lands, these were just reprinted recently in Modern Horizons.
Yes.
So they weren't really high before, but they were up near $1. So they come in tapped. They're for each of the colors, and they cycle for 1 of that color. So if it's the forest that comes in tapped, it cycles for 1 green.
You pay green, instant speed, discard it, draw a card.
Yeah.
You want lands in your graveyard? Great. You have a budget deck that's mono or 2 colored, and you want to make sure that you don't flood? Great. Like this just does so many things.
Yeah,
Play it on turn 1 because you don't care? Great.
They fit in. It just depends on what your deck. If you're now obviously you wouldn't be on a budget as much. Well, maybe you open the Life in the Loam in one of your packs. So you have a Life in the Loam. These would go great in any deck that's playing Life in the Loam.
Any deck that's playing any dredge. You don't have to play Life in the Loam. Play Stinkweed in. That card's 50 cents. Replace it, dredge, or even if you're playing a combo deck, this gives you more chances to go off. Your budget combo decks, I think, definitely want these.
Yeah.
Storm deck? Oh, I'm playing
your budget
red blue.
Storm. Yeah.
I'll get all the cycling lands you can because your rituals, and you're going to have worse ways to draw cards. Okay, the artifact lands. Okay, let's see. Ancient Den, Seat of the Synod, Great Furnace, Vault of Whispers, and Tree of Tales.
Yep.
They're artifact lands that enter untapped and tap for 1 of each of the colors.
I think the
Seat of the Synod is more than $1.
It is.
That's blue.
But the other ones, if you have synergies, if you're playing something like what's Duretti,
there's
Savant.
Trinket Mage, Tezzeret, the Seeker, those types of cards, then I want these.
Yeah,
I want 1 of them.
That's why the Seeker works really great with these because you play him, you zero him,
right,
and he goes and gets 1 of these.
He just ramps.
Yeah.
But they will get swept away with Vandal Blast. So I think of it like a temporary ramp spell when you do that stuff.
Right? But sometimes someone doesn't have Vandal Blast.
Sometimes they don't, and you feel great.
Next on the list, Desolate Lighthouse. This it taps for 1 colors, or you can pay 1 blue-red, tap it, draw a card, discard a card.
Yeah, we talked about this one and our next one a little bit on our podcast where we said the best lands in EDH. The other one is Grim Backwoods. Enters untapped, makes colorless, pay 2 black-green, tap, sacrifice a creature, draw a card. They're both just great ways to draw a card. If your deck wants to sacrifice creatures, obviously, or your deck wants to draw a discard, obviously, play these.
We also talked about Desolate Lighthouse. Why was this card not put into the flashback deck? It makes so much sense.
I don't know, but also don't play these in 3-color decks unless you really need it.
If I was playing a flashback deck that was 3 colors, I'd put this in.
No, I'm saying you're playing a Jeskai deck. Don't play all 3 of the Jeskai colorless lands that do this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah,
no, you can't play. You really gotta limit your colorless lands in 3-color decks for sure.
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt you.
You only get so many slots for utility lands. You have to remember that.
Yes, well, not necessarily utility, but tapped lands or lands that don't help you cast spells.
Yeah, for colorless lands, if you want to go that route. If you only have so many slots for colorless lands, regardless, because at some point you're going to be hurting yourself.
Yeah. Now we have a couple fetchable lands with types that are cool. Misspelled Plains is the first one. Enters tapped, produces a white, and you can pay white and tap it. Put a card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library, only if you control 2 or more white permanents.
Such a weird card.
This is a sweet cycle. I love lands that have types that are not that good, so that EDH could just play them and have the synergy. It's sweet.
Yeah, but this one, I mean, I'm just talking about this one specifically. It's so weird. If you control, also, you have to control 2 white permanents.
Well, they all make you do that.
It's just so weird.
I don't think it's that weird.
I think it's weird.
But okay, it's perfect with the card Sunforger we've talked about a million times. We love that card. Also, any combo-y type, you want to put this in the graveyard and tutor for it again.
Yeah, if your deck wants to, in white, you don't. If it's not a creature, sometimes it might be hard to rebuy it. So putting something on the bottom.
You're playing a Reanimator deck? Okay, fetch this up, and now you have protection for when they try to exile your Reanimator stuff.
Yeah,
you can put your
Gristle Brand,
your Void Winnower in the graveyard and protect it from some sort of mass, like a Relic Progena's activation.
Yeah. Or your Gristlebrand that you're cheating by playing.
Why not just Void Winnower?
I know.
That's the first dumb big thing I could think of.
I don't know. The first, that was, because when you said Reanimator, it made me think of the Legacy deck, and that just put Gristlebrand in my head.
We're playing Misspelled Plains. Mystic Sanctuary is a land that Joe will explain. Describe.
This is an island, so it is fetchable.
Wow.
It comes in untapped if you control 3 or more islands. Other islands. 3 or more other islands.
This needs to be your 4th island.
So yes, so this needs to be your 4th island that you play. If it enters untapped, you can put an instant or sorcery from your graveyard on top of your library.
This is so strong.
It's super strong. This card's seeing play in Modern.
With Time Warp and Exhaustion and all those things.
This card will... It's just in the right deck, in a mono blue deck, this is such a free roll, it's insane.
Fetchable. This is like so fast going into my mono blue deck, replacing an island.
It's insane.
Still works with High Tide.
Yeah, this card is super, super good. Instants and sorceries are what you're playing if you're in blue. I mean, how are you not? It'd be weird if you
Get your Dig Through Time back. Get your Treasure Cruise back. It's insane.
Get whatever. I mean, there's a million cards. Get your Factor Fiction. I can't, like, there's literally so many cards to get back.
Just for free. Like, what would I want to draw right now? Well, I bet this instance better than whatever the best draw is or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's
kind of waste for me, but
is an instant in your graveyard better than random draw? Usually.
Probably, because 50% lands in your deck. Not really, 50%. You get it. Witch's Cottage, what does that do?
Witch's Cottage comes attached to control 3 or more swamps. And
it's a swamp.
You can put a creature from your graveyard on top of your library. Same thing. It's not as powerful as getting instant or sorcery, but it's still very powerful to put a creature on top.
This lets you hold up a fetch land and then protect your creature in your graveyard. Because if you fetch with your Polluted Delta in response to their last Scavenging Ooze or their Relic or Nile Spellbomb, they go, oh, put it on top. I'm going to draw it instead of reanimate it. Gotcha.
Hashtag got him.
Hashtag gotcha. There's only a couple more. This is going to be a short episode.
Yeah, because lands are expensive.
Lands are expensive.
Lands, like, the most I think the most expensive things in Magic, not counting, like, I'm not counting power and stuff like that, is lands. The mana base is always what's most expensive to build in almost
any format. Your deck's playing 4 Black Lotus, but how many dual lands are you playing? How many whatever? By Black Lotus, I mean whatever the most expensive card in your deck is.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. And no deck can play 4 Black Lotus in any real format.
That's true.
No deck can play any Black Lotus, period, in any real format.
Yeah, if you don't know what format we're hating on. Mosswort Bridge.
Yeah, read this one.
It's a green land that enters tapped, and you can pay... Oh, that's Hideaway. Sorry, it doesn't enter tapped. It has the keyword ability Hideaway, which makes it enter tapped. And then... You look at the top 4 lands of your library, exile 1 kind of under this, and then for a green and tap this land, you can cast a spell for free, an instant speed, without paying its mana cost, for free, instant speed, anytime you can cast an instant, without paying for the card, if you control creatures power 10 or greater total among them.
I'm glad you explained it to them 3 times in different wordings.
You liked it. You liked it. This is great. Any big fatty green deck, any elf ball deck, this is so good. It's a free spell. These cards are really good. Shelldock Isle is not good.
Shelldock Isle is horrible.
And the black one is not good because all players need to have no cards. But the rest are great.
Well, yeah, that card is just unplayable.
Feel free to play the green one, the white one, and the red one.
I mean, the white one, they're both, I think the other ones are a little bit more expensive, but they're not much more expensive.
They're 1 or 2 color decks, I would say.
Yeah.
Tapped monocolor lands and 3 color, you're starting to get iffy. Unless they're a spell, like in Allure Windgrace, playing your Tranquil Thicket. That's a spell. Tranquil Cove? Tranquil, whatever.
Tranquil Cove.
Tranquil Cove is the blue one.
It's the blue-white
No,
tap.
Lonely Sandbar is the blue one. Tranquil Cove is the enters tapped, gain a life, blue-white one.
Yeah, blue-white, yeah, enters tapped, gain 1 life. You're really nailing this today.
Gain lands. The gain lands are fine. Any deck that has life gain synergy, jam them all in. Any deck where you just you find yourself, I have 20 basics and I'm trying to upgrade this stupid precon with 35 basics in it. Well, take out a land and just put in all the game lands.
Yeah, or even the game life lands are the best.
They're rock solid.
They're the best version of the enters taps to produce 2 colors.
Yes, or if you're playing Circuitous Route, play 2 Guildgates.
Yeah.
There's also, Rupture Spire, Gateway Plaza. They enter tapped and you got to pay 1 so they don't die. But then they tap for any color. So I would also play those in 5 color decks.
I want to correct myself because I know what the comments will say. I didn't mean any of the lands that enter tapped and add 2 because I know like Scrylands are better. What I really meant by that is that any of the common ones, like the guild gates, it's better than the gates. Sorry.
You know we're popular when we have to fight fires in the comment section.
I have to fight fires before.
That's great. This is my dream.
They knew it was. I know what they're going to say, but Joe,
now they're going to say it for fun.
The Scrylands are tapped.
You see, you were at the right level, but then you went and talked about it too much.
Nope.
And we're still talking about it, so now they're definitely going to comment.
All right, what's next?
There's only a few more. Skarg the Rage Pit. It's a colorless land that you can pay red and green, tap it. Target creature gains +1/+1 and gains trample.
This is a mini version of
Kestic Wolfrun. It's cheaper if you just care about trample. So if you have a big fat commander, I would just play both.
Yeah, I mean, card's good. I mean, that's all there is to this card. It's if you can afford Kestic Wolfrun, get that in your deck because Kestic Wolfrun is better because it's more versatile. You can
just deal like 6 damage to your opponent if you have nothing better to do.
Yeah, throw all your mana into that. I mean, you might have even more mana. You might just. I've had 12 mana and be like, yeah, I
guess so.
I drew a land. Play that land.
No matter who your commander is now a lethal commander damage threat.
Yeah, if you
two pumps with your whole turn.
Yeah, and you can go.
They can't really
pump
block it
louder.
Don't do that.
No, you can.
2 more. Ash Barrens. Colorless land enters untapped, but you can pay 1 colorless and basic land cycle. Search for any basic land and put it in your hand.
Modal.
I love this card because color fixing. It's extra cards in your graveyard. It's kind of card draw if you want to draw a land. I love this card a lot.
It's also, I mean,
shuffle your library. It's so good.
Also, sometimes it's just say you got 6 lands, you want to play your 7-drop, and you draw this land. It's just a land.
Perfect.
It's exactly modal.
This card is better than Evolving Wilds and better than Terramorphic Expanse. I don't think it's even close.
I agree. I don't know if.
On your end step, I'll search for a land. So now, on your turn, if you were to play this, it's functionally Evolving Wilds. If you do it at sorcery speed, you do it at instant speed.
If you care about landfall, then Evolving Wilds is better.
I think this card is just better. In a vacuum, this card's better.
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree it's better.
I can say it's a better card.
Yeah.
And not have to go into the minutia of a landfall deck.
Well, you were making it seem like it was always better to have this card. Like you would always put this in over.
Just said it was a better card. Because it's true.
I read into it more.
Great. Gyre Reach Sanitarium is the best land ever, and it's our last card. But Joe gets to read what it does.
Gyre Reach Sanitarium, colorless land. Pay 2, tap it. Each player draws a card and discards a card.
It's good with Dredge. It's good with Graveyard. It's good with filling up your graveyard. It's good with Group Hug. It's good with just having a good time. This card's so much fun. Filtering.
It's good if you like sanitariums. If you like
Sanitarium deck, this goes right into the Sanitarium deck.
if you like the Metallica song Sanitarium, every time it's activated, you can go Sanitarium.
And I only know that song.
Because he doesn't know that song?
Joe's singing it like an idiot.
I always sing it like that. And that sounds nothing like the song, but that's the version.
I hope it does.
That's the version that Beezy knows.
Yeah, I could hear that song on the radio and I wouldn't even recognize
You probably wouldn't.
Okay, wow.
Slave mail.
So we're just done. We're done with the lands. Is there anything random you want to talk about for like the next half hour?
Half hour? No.
Okay, so we're just going to have a shorter podcast today. Just keeping it light. Halloween's around the corner, and we don't have costumes.
Don't judge us.
Because Amazon is unfair. We were slighted by Amazon.
And by that he means we waited until the week before Halloween to try and order costumes.
November 4th. Don't they know we have something to do? This is stupid. So we're not going to have costumes unless we pick something up at like the dollar store.
This would have been the costume episode, I assume.
Yeah, the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
Well,
oops.
Yeah, whatever.
Whoopsie.
Are we doing a video for Friday? That's what everybody wants to know.
Yes.
Okay, we're still doing our ranking commanders, normal time.
Yeah, but you're not planning on it?
No, I was.
Oh.
Just thinking of my schedule.
Yeah, there'll be a video on Friday as per usual.
Great. I was going to ask you questions about like your normal life. Like what time do you get off of work? But I don't think they need to hear that on the podcast.
I get off at 3 tomorrow if you guys want to know.
Yeah, I work 4 to 9. So I'm just trying to figure out.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. That's like the whole trick-or-treating time.
That's weird. You never work on Wednesdays.
Wait, tomorrow's Wednesday?
Yeah.
I was talking about Friday, dummy. I get 4 to 9 on Thursday, which is when we'd have to record. But I guess we can just record tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be out at 3.
I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know if this is relevant or if anyone listening cares at all. But we've now figured out when we're going to record Friday's video, which is going up at normal time. This video, and not so much the nonsense at the end of the video, has been brought to you by our 28 patrons.
Yeah, we have 28 patrons. They're all so awesome. We love them as much as we can without making them uncomfortable, though some of them might be uncomfortable. I hope not, though.
Here's the problem. 28. We've been at 28 for like a really long time. And I don't know why. So just to spice up my life a little bit, go to patreon.com/user/nitpicking nerds and just become like a $2 patron. Join the tiniest tier to help us out a bajillion tremendous amount. Because then I can say 29 patrons.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just sound so much
better?
And
you'll get your own special shout out because everybody.
All the new patrons are getting shout outs now.
Yeah, we gave all the other old ones shout outs, and now you're all going to get shout outs.
Because we have 3,150 subscribers, which is that's a huge audience that gets to hear whatever name you have on Patreon. What else do we got to cover? What if they want to buy these cards?
If you want to buy any of these cards, you can do that at tcgplayer.com. Head over to the link Go to the link in the description below, click on it, buy whatever you want through that link, and you'll be supporting the channel, which we would appreciate immensely.
Yes, got to go to YouTube for that spice, though.
Yeah, it's not in the...
I mean, it wouldn't make sense to put on the podcast
You could.
app as much, but we're not doing that.
All right.
Go to YouTube. That's how you can support us. And honestly, I'm throwing out one more shout-out, because if you love our channel, like so many people do, thousands of subscribers, but you can't support us or you don't want to support us financially, which you shouldn't have to, one thing you can do that really helps out is just go to Twitter and just follow us.
Okay.
Yeah, just extra exposure. We're trying to get more of a ball rolling on Twitter to maybe eventually get spoiler cards or shout outs or sponsors or whatever.
We're too critical of Wizards to ever get a spoiler.
With that attitude, we're not going to get one. Nah, there's people. I'm looking it up. I've looked up. There's people much less positive than us.
You think so?
We'll talk about it later.
To be fair, the professor really goes at him, which I give the professor credit for. He will actually be like this product is not for you videos.
Product is garbage.
This product is not for you. He really tears into him.
Well, how about the don't buy booster boxes that come out every set where he actively tells you not to buy Wizards?
Yeah, and he always gets one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we can just keep tearing into Wizards and they'll give us a new one.
We'll be so aggressive that we stand out, and then we get like 1 million preview cards. We'll demand to preview a whole set.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't matter as long as you're not saying anything sexist, racist, or homophobic.
How about just offensive?
Offensive, sexist, racist, homophobic, same thing. If you're not saying anything offensive,
yeah, all things offensive.
Popular,
all things offensive fall under sexist, racist, homophobic. Nothing else could ever be offensive. We're not saying offensive things. We're just going to ramble for another 28 minutes.
I mean, I don't mind.
That's what podcasts are for, right?
Well, we've said everything. If someone wants to leave at this point, it's fine.
Yeah, if you're still here, this is on you.
Yeah, we're really just rambling. We're really just filling time here to just talk about the fact
we're not even filling. There's no time to fill. These podcasts can be as long as we want.
Though I am happy about. Might as well. It's the end of the video. We'll talk about. I'm happy. I'm excited for Pioneer. I started building my mono black deck.
Here's the thing. I was hesitant. That's why we didn't put out a video Tuesday for Pioneer. Because the first one didn't really do so well. We didn't really get too much feedback on it. So we're like, we'll hold off. Maybe we'll do one next week or something. But I wish there was somewhere we could go. There's a Reddit for it. I didn't post it today because I slept in.
That's fair.
I want to start posting to Reddit for Pioneer stuff because I think it's really cool.
I think Pioneer's awesome. And maybe we'll get it.
I got my deck sleeved. My deck is sleeved. I just got to start playing it.
You got it proxied up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll proxy mine today.
Do it.
After I edit this video.
Perfect. Which will take no time at all because the last half of it is nothing.
Yeah, there's no cards to put on screen because we're just saying words that don't even comply, that don't go with cards. Let's just end this. Why are we doing this?
Let's just put them out of their misery. We're gonna go, and you guys can go live the rest of your life. Go get something to eat. You probably haven't eaten in a while. Go get a haircut.
We're gonna go eat ramen.
Yes, and dumplings.
Ramen, dumplings. Beezy's gonna watch some Hell's Kitchen with his friends.
Best show of all time.
I'm not going to because he's watching Hell's Kitchen with his friends.
Joe's not one of my friends.
I don't like Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, okay. We need to go.
We're
done. That's it. Peace out, Tribe Scout, etc.